Welcome to Griffin's Gaming Guides. In this video we're going to go over how you can acquire the Meridian handgun, which is actually a grenade launcher that then turns into a rocket launcher. Now, in order to be able to acquire the Meridian handgun, you need to go either down to the Great Sewers or Tiller's Rest in Losomn. Once you're in there, you need to make your way through where you should be able to find a section of wall that's been barricaded off by wood. Now, you are going to need to smash your way through the barricade, follow the path along, jump the gap at the end, being very careful not to fall down, and then make sure that you take out all of the bulbous creatures that are there. You've got a few shock ones as well as, I believe, just one normal one. Then you're going to be able to look over to the left of the area where there's one more bulbous creature that's blocking off a pipe. Once you kill it, you're going to start releasing water from the pipe. Now, what you need to do in order to be able to acquire the Meridian handgun is to basically wait for an hour and a half where the water will run out and the room will then fill up with water, raising two platforms, allowing you to very carefully jump across into a hidden little cutout where the Meridian handgun will be. Now, you did hear me correctly. It will take 90 minutes or an hour and a half of this water flowing out before the platforms will be high enough and the water will then stop flowing. Now, fortunately, you can go off and do other things in either the Great Sewers or the Tiller's Rest biome. I'm not too sure, and I'll be completely honest with you, full transparency, I'm not too sure what happens if you leave the biome itself, but if you die, or you want to go off and take out all of the enemies, or take out the boss in the area, that's fine. You can do that. Obviously, in the Great Sewers, you need to take down the Bloat King. Link below the like button if you're struggling with that one. We've put a full guide together for it. Now, like I say, providing you stay in the biome, if I'm wrong and you can leave, then please feel free, let me know down in the comments below. And obviously let everyone else know as well that they can leave and go off and do other things. But for me, where I finally managed to find this place, I didn't want to leave. I wanted to make sure that I stuck around until the room was full of water. Now, for me, the Meridian handgun, bearing in mind you have to wait 90 minutes for this room to fill up with water, you then have to very carefully jump across the pallets, which will be much easier if you jump forward and then pull back on your left stick or whatever the button is on PC. Pull back where you then won't roll forward off the edge. You'll basically stand still. Nice little way of doing it. For me, I must have rolled off the edge 4 times until I realised that I can pull back on the stick. Then I wouldn't roll off the edge. Do that across both platforms and then into the cutout, and you'll have a much easier time of doing it. But as I was saying, the Meridian handgun, grenade launcher into a rocket launcher, is crap. I have played a lot of games, and I mean a lot of games. Now, in a lot of the games I play, you do find things like grenade launchers, you find rocket launchers. What you normally get with these things is an explosion, for starters. With a grenade launcher, you don't get that. It just basically goes poof, and then does a bit of damage. But for me, it's a pathetic weapon. For something that calls itself a grenade launcher, or is essentially what it is, that then turns into a rocket launcher, it's like firing off a wet fart. I expect to at least see an explosion, which I didn't get to see, and then I expect a decent amount of damage, but where you're only hitting for roughly 120 points of damage for a grenade launcher, yes, it does a bit of AoE, it's alright at crowd control, but whoop-de-doo, 99% of the guns in the game are fairly decent at crowd control if you know how to use them. But for a grenade launcher, I want fireworks. I want big explosions. I want enemies getting thrown backwards. Instead, they get hit with a grenade or a rocket and they just go, ow. And then they move on with their day and still come at you. That, to me, it's not worth the time investment of spending an hour and a half essentially watching paint dry or water rise. It's a fairly pointless handgun. Now, I haven't leveled it up. If you do get it up to level 10 and then you get all the fireworks and bells and whistles then lovely. But for me, I'm not going to bother putting any resources into this thing because at level 1, a gun needs to then prove itself in a way that it has potential, like the Nightfall long gun, like the Assassin's Dagger melee weapon, like the double barrel handgun does, the cube gun, any of those sort of weapons. For me, they've got a hell of a lot of potential. The Meridian handgun, it's not worth the effort. If you're a collector and you want to go off and get every single weapon in the game, or you're here because you want to find out how to do it to make your own guides, fantastic, very best of luck to you. Maybe you've got a different take on it than I have, but for me, it's not worth it. I'm going to jump over to Ward 13 now and basically unequip every single bit of armour I've got. I'm going to fire all 5 rounds of this thing on the ground and it doesn't even kill me. When the AoE damage is basically going off against me. I've unequipped all my rings, I've unequipped my armour, I've unequipped the other 2 weapons I've got. It's literally me with the grenade launcher firing it against the wall. They are very close proximity. Again, explosions, but aren't really explosions. And it doesn't take me down. I fire a rocket launcher into the ground. Nothing. It doesn't kill me. This weapon is a limp noodle of a grenade launcher. It's one of the worst I've ever seen. No, it is the worst grenade launcher and or rocket launcher I've ever seen in gaming. But anyway, if you are after a a grenade launcher, then that's where you can find the Meridian handgun in Remnant 2. I do hope that the guide helps you out. If it has, please do me a massive favour. Give the like button a click. It does help us out a great deal. Either way, though, whichever you decide to do, please take care of yourselves out there. Enjoy the rest of your week. And I do look forward to seeing you back here at Griffin's Gaming Guides.